This video is sponsored by DVCReservations.com. Today we're going to be exploring all of the free things that you can do at Disney World without even so much as a park ticket. Our goal in this video is to not spend a single cent on Disney property today, with one minor exception, but a little more about that later. Okay, make that 2 exceptions. And if we time it just right, we can watch the Magic Kingdom fireworks from the monorail. But we're gonna have to hustle because we've also got to make this work around nap time because this little guy doesn't sleep in his stroller. So I may have made a bit of a planning mistake. Why does this kind of stuff only happen in the middle of the night after you've already spent the whole day at Disney World? In order to do this though, we had to pack a picnic lunch, and because we live a couple hours away from the Disney World parks, that means that our adventure had to begin last evening with a quick trip to Walmart. And when we explained to our children the reason that we were taking that trip and revealed to them our video idea, it was not very well received. This is our first time actually doing this, so we have to think through what we could pack easily tomorrow. Because, you know, naturally if we were going out on a day like this, we would just buy things at Disney World, or we would pick up something at a fast food restaurant and maybe try to make that work. And this morning, Alaina had to wake a little extra early in order to make some final preparations ahead of our day.
We have this really nice insulated bag, and it has a nice shoulder strap. That way we can take it with us. But I went ahead and put our chips in here, and then I just have a couple of extra chips and some pretzels. And this is what Pierce is gonna be eating today, because he's picky, so I want to make sure we got him something that he will actually eat. So Vivian has a Lunchable, and we have some snacks and sandwiches. We found a big giant sub at Walmart, so Anthony and I are going to split that and then have things to go with it. So we have this individual bag of little pickle chips that I found. It was only like $1, but I thought that was such a good idea. And then Vivian picked out some fruit and stuff for her and Pierce. We have water in the van. And of course I have our regular snack bag packed in my diaper bag for throughout the day. I also have napkins and spoons. I didn't want to forget those things. And of course, leftover Christmas napkins because, you know, it is what it is. But we will see if this works for us today. I think I have everything.
Also, just a note, if you happen to be watching this video in preparation for a Disney or a Florida vacation, just know that you can have grocery service delivered to your Disney resort. You just have to work through guest services to make that happen. And then the first step for free access to all of the Disney properties is that we parked for free at Disney Springs. To visit Disney Springs because parking here is free, but an alternative to that is if you have dining reservations at one of the resorts, then you can usually park there for free as well. And certainly there are tons of things that you can do at Disney Springs, but that's where everybody else defaults to when they come to Disney and don't know what else they can do other than the theme parks. If you time it just right and visit Disney Springs during the appropriate hours, then you can sometimes even catch some free entertainment while you're here. But we're opting for a more original Disney experience today, so we're gonna go do some other stuff. Arriving at Disney Springs, we've quickly navigated to the buses, and we are gonna hop on the buses and use those to explore Disney World.
As far as free things to do in Disney, I definitely think the buses are the way to go, especially if you have young children. Our young children loved riding the buses.
We have now arrived at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jambo House, and if you happen to be interested in exploring Disney World without a ticket, but you are not averse to spending money, then there are a couple of restaurants here that are pretty great. There is Boma, which is probably one of the best buffets in all of Disney World. It's a little expensive, but it is delicious. And over in Kidani Village is Sana, which is best known for its bread service, and that would be one of the lesser expensive options. And seeing the lobby here is so beautiful. This video is sponsored by DVCReservations.com. DVCReservations.com offers easy on-site rentals to all the Disney Vacation Club resorts at a steep discount. If you are a Disney Vacation Club owner, list your DVC points painlessly in seconds while choosing your own price. The website features an interactive availability calendar and multiple tools to help you easily book your Disney vacation. The team at DVCReservations.com is always excited to make the magic for you. But we're here to eat lunch out by the savannah. Now, in the lobbies of nearly all of the resorts, maybe all of them, there are some cartoons playing and kids can sit down and watch those. So we'll probably do that a little bit later. And then you can come across some free entertainment sometimes. And we're hoping to run into some characters today. We found one bench, and it's nice because it's under an umbrella, but there are lots of people watching the giraffes nearby, which is actually the main reason that we're here aside from eating lunch. But I'm going to look around and see if there's another good place to sit where we can also see some animals. This spot right here is empty, and it looks like that some of the animals might be migrating this way. So maybe if we can convince the children to come over here and eat lunch, then we'll see some animals a little later on. Overall, that was a pretty successful lunch stop. The children really enjoyed it. It was a little touch and go there for a little bit. We weren't sure if Pierce was actually going to sit down and eat his lunch. And that is certainly something that could ruin the entire video idea because we're not going to spend the rest of the day with a hangry toddler. But they definitely love the animals, and we actually had to drag Pierce away. At this point, Pierce is getting sleepy, so we're going to go ahead and head back to Disney Springs so that he can take a little nap in the van, and then we're going to go out and explore again from there.
So I was actually a big fan of us packing our own lunch. We probably spent maybe 30 bucks last night on food at Walmart, and we definitely would have spent more at Disney on a lunch. So I'm a huge fan, and it also didn't take me that long to prepare it. I just spent a few extra minutes packing stuff in bags, so I think it was a win for the most important part of our day, going back to the van to take a nap.
Nap time was a success, and then Alaina snuck and bought a coffee. All right, here you go.
Thank you, no regrets. Sorry, YouTube. So yes, it's true, broke the rules. I went to Starbucks on Disney property today, but I feel like I deserve it because I've been taking care of the kids, and I got up at 4:30 this morning to pack our lunch and make sure everything's ready. So I think I can get away with this one thing.
Now we're back off to the buses, and we're gonna head over to all of the AllStar Resorts. The exciting thing is that headed to the AllStar Resorts is a first for us. We've actually never been to those before, so we're excited about checking those out, but we think they're gonna be a lot of fun for the kids. Our first stop is Disney's All-Star Movies. What we love about exploring the value resorts is that the theming is so giant and tacky and wonderful. And one of the things that's our favorite when we don't have park tickets is just to hop over to one of the value resorts and just eat in the food court area.
Obviously, we had to check out the arcade at the AllStar Resort. That's where both kids ended up running to first. Pierce is in heaven right now. He's obsessed with motorcycles and trucks. So all day long, it's him saying, motorcycle, vroom, vroom, car, vroom, vroom. So he loves the arcade, obviously, because it's full of these cars. And he's sitting here going, vroom, vroom.
The challenging thing is just keeping the children moving. They could spend hours and hours just doing any one of the things here. Now we're off to AllStar Music.
What is that? Wow, that's so cool.
And of course we've got to check out the arcade and the food court. This swimming pool is shaped like a giant guitar. This would have been a great area for our picnic earlier too. This section is so awesome. It's like 1960s rock and roll. And right across this parking lot is the Disney All-Star Sports Resort. So I may have made a bit of a planning mistake. I know that we needed to do dinner anyway, and it's getting close to dinner time. But my plan was that there's a McDonald's right here on Disney property, and I was thinking that we could go there, but there's no transportation to the McDonald's on Disney property, so you have to drive yourself there. So our plan for this challenge, though, was not to spend anything on Disney property. So just gonna try to figure out what we want to do here to be kind of creative in looking for our solution rather than just defaulting to the food that's nearby. Because we do still plan to ride the Skyliner and the monorail and check out the resorts surrounding those. Okay, so I made a mistake. There's no transportation to the McDonald's from here.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. I'm thinking that maybe we hop on a bus and have the bus take us back to Disney Springs, hop in our van, drive over to the McDonald's, and then drive back to Disney Springs to pick up the transportation to either a monorail location or a Skyliner location, and then continue exploring from there. But we gotta hustle because it's gonna get dark soon. So the ironic thing is that we actually had to pass the McDonald's while we were on the bus, and in hindsight it might have been within a reasonable walking distance of AllStar Sports Resort anyway, so who knows. But now we're back in the van and we're stuck in traffic. It's pretty crowded. We've driven by this McDonald's a whole bunch of times, but we've never stopped. But we have a reason to now because Pierce has a McDonald's obsession. So in case you're wondering, this McDonald's is pretty standard as far as the menu options. The interior is kind of upscale, and then there is an interactive table, which the children really enjoyed. And there's a whole set of screens and tablets that they can play with while they wait. We're back at Disney Springs and we're headed over to the buses. We're gonna hop on, go to Art of Animation, take the Skyliner over to the boardwalk, let the kids play at the boardwalk for a little while, and then find another form of transportation to head from the boardwalk to the monorail. And we'll hit up the monorail resorts, and maybe by then we'll be ready to conclude the day. Hopefully we'll be able to see the fireworks while we travel on the monorail. It's a little too dark to show too much of the Art of Animation resort, but we've definitely been here multiple times, so it wouldn't be hard to find a similar video on our channel where we've explored this resort during the daytime. The main reason that we're here tonight, though, is that we want to use it to fit in the Skyliner route, because that is one of Vivian's favorite things to do in all of Disney World. Of all the value resorts, I would have to say the Art of Animation has my absolute favorite theming. Vivian's excited because she found Lightning McQueen. So the Skyliner is supposed to have been closed for the last few days for routine maintenance. It was the 16th through the 21st. Today is the 22nd. So I don't know, but I don't see any gondolas coming in. We just walked past a resort guest and asked them if it's running, and she said that it is running, just not to Epcot right now. And we only need to get to the boardwalk anyway, so that's perfectly fine. Actually, the Skyliner is not running all the way to Epcot, so that means that we're going to have to see how close we can get to the boardwalk and then walk the rest of the distance from there. The line was too long. So we just barely didn't make it.
Please be sure you hold on to those safe packs and handrails. And for the courtesy of everyone aboard us, we'll say that there is to be no smoking or vaping of any kind.
All right, we made it to the Swan and Dolphin Resorts, which is where the playground is that Vivian enjoys so much. So we're gonna go over there and let her spend a little time doing that. And it's a little too dark for us to do much in the way of giving you a tour of the boardwalk, but we've made an entire video about that previously on our channel. We still plan to hop on a bus and head over to one of the monorail stations so that we can capture the fireworks from the monorail along the way. And hopefully we'll be on the monorail when the fireworks start to go off. This is the playground that Vivian likes so much. It's not very well lit on the video, but there's enough overflow lighting from other surrounding areas that she can play pretty safely. So we happened on some free entertainment over on the boardwalk. And also, most of the resorts will show Disney movies out on their lawn or next to the pool or something. And here it is located out on the back lawn behind the boardwalk. So you technically don't have to be a resort guest in order to watch the movie. There are even more shows that go on throughout the evening, but we don't have time to watch those because we have an agenda and we're running a little behind. So I think we're gonna hop on the bus and head over to Magic Kingdom directly instead. All right, we didn't make it in time to see the fireworks. They already concluded. So we're gonna hop on the bus and head back to Disney Springs and head home. Honestly, I wish that's where the story ended. Why does this kind of stuff only happen in the middle of the night after you've already spent the whole day at Disney World? So what actually happened was that when we were at the bus center for Magic Kingdom, we learned that the buses to Disney Springs only run from the resorts. So no worries, we could just walk right over to the Contemporary Resort from there. It's within easy walking distance. But first, actually, you've got to pass through security. And of course, our charging device, which hasn't set off security all day long going in and out of Disney Springs, did set off the security devices in front of Magic Kingdom. So I had to go off to the side and be wanded, and they had to check through the bag. And then we walked over to the Contemporary Resort, walked right through the lobby, and we couldn't find the bus stop for the Contemporary Resort. And so I had to go ask for directions for that. And actually, I guess perhaps we already walked through the bus stop on the way into the Contemporary Resort to begin with. But we found our way anyway, so it's fine.